By the time I'd got there, they were heading out to sea. She wasn't going to be able to save her children and possibly herself.
It's an increasingly common story. A young family nearly drowning while playing in the ocean. Luckily for them, local Glenn Osborne was walking along the beach at Sunbury Grove when he heard screaming and leapt into action.
We ended up about where this young surfer is out here behind these first waves. We ended up a little bit further out than that. The kids were still screaming uncontrollably. Mum was in shock, sitting on her knees on the beach, trying to make a phone call. She couldn't even talk into the phone. She was so distraught because the realisation was she couldn't save her kids.
With miles of beautiful coastline in our backyard, it's easy to forget how dangerous the ocean can be. But a group of Arataki locals have come together to teach children how to enjoy it safely.
We've had a lot of drownings this summer. We've got the surf that's our back door, you know, and our kids need to know and respect and know about the surf, how to be in it, how to be safe in it. Especially for our Māori kids, it's just in their blood to get out in that moana. But you got to know, you have to know when to go out and when not to. Our kids need to learn to swim. I think it's important, but it's also up to our families to get to be there with them and to be around them and to, you know, to build that confidence around the water as well.
It's not until people get into situations that can happen in less than a second that they realise that they are not equipped to be out in the water, especially in the ocean, because it's just changing so much.
Wanting to keep their kids busy and off the streets, parents asked children what they wanted to do. One sport topped the list.
About 2.5 years ago, there was a lot of violence happening here amongst our streets, and unfortunately, or fortunately, our granddaughter got attacked by a group of 8 kids. 8 young women, and so it allowed us as a family to just mobilise the community. So we got in there and we shut all that crap down. We also asked the kids for some feedback around what is it that you want to see in Arataki, and surfing definitely was one of them, obviously, because it's in their backyard.
Back in 2021, Arataki Rugby Club was only offering rugby for our kids, so we're looking at other activities for them. We wanted to keep our kids connected in the off-season and provide a summer sport for them, and there's a lot of reasons probably why some of our kids don't get involved in surfing programs, so as a club we wanted to look at if we could remove some of those barriers.
One of these barriers is cost, but thanks to local funding, these rugby-loving kids won't miss out on the popular summer activity.
The first year it was funded by the Sports Bay of Plenty to Manawa Fund, and also the Keep Arataki Safe Fund, and then this year we've been lucky enough to have funding from the New Zealand Community Trust. We subsidise the fees and make that at a really reduced price that a lot of our whānau can now attend the program. We did a wetsuit drive, so we asked the local community, have they got old wetsuits? Our club really prioritises sustainability, so we don't want people going out buying new wetsuits.
The Arataki Junior Boardriders programme goes further than teaching kids just how to swim.
There was some key outcomes for this program. Obviously, water safety. You know, it's a lot different from our kids learning in a pool compared to being out in the, in the moana. As our kids get older, a big driving factor was, I hope that one day they'll all pick up a board, go out with their mates out surfing, rather than, pick up a phone or sit in the lounge and, mull around. So that was a big motivating factor, that we connect our kids to their backyard, and they've got a pretty amazing backyard.
They need to know how to be safe in it, so that's what Joe and his coaches provide for our kids.
It started off with Marie and I chatting. There was a big generational thing of adults and parents that were quite scared of the water and scared of going down to the beach, and we could see Arataki was growing. There was a lot of families that were trying to go to the beach, but there were stories coming out of people getting into difficulty. It kind of snowballed through that, really. So surf life-saving, bond through the rugby club, and making the most of an environment that should, in theory, be a playful environment for kids. It shouldn't be a danger.
Once the 7-week programme is over, these kids are much smarter about their surroundings.
Normally on a surf lesson you'd only surf one spot and maybe learn about that spot, but what we've always wanted to try and do is let the kids learn different areas, learn different locations, learn visual markers and clues, whether they're in a rip or in a dangerous zone. The stories that come back from some of these kids and their parents that they've stopped another family going in, or another set of friends or cousins get in because they can feel a pull, Brilliant.
Parents say their children come out of the programme better equipped to deal with the ocean's ever-changing conditions.
Growing up, I guess, in Mount Maunganui, being in a peninsula with the harbour on one side and the beach on the other, I think it's really important to have water safety, be aware of the rips and what to do if you are ever caught in that situation.
He's been asking to do surfing lessons for a while, but it's kind of a little bit out of our budget, and so the fact that he gets this opportunity has been amazing, and he wants to be a pro surfer now. He was always really, really confident, but now he has more knowledge to back that confidence up, so I feel a lot happier letting him go into the water, letting him go a little bit further out, because I know that he's more aware of things like rips and what the current's doing and the undertow and stuff like that.
I'm not that scared of the big waves anymore because I know I can just ride over them when I have the board. I'm still a little bit scared of crabs though.
It's not just the children that can benefit from these lessons.
These type of programs are really important because there are a lot of parents out there that don't know how to swim. There are kids out there that love the water and love bombing off the wharfs and stuff like that, but they only really doggy paddle back, and so there's little things like that that are not a priority to families at the moment, and when we have incidents that happen all the time out here, we need to make sure that our kids understand water safety, how to swim from a really young age. What I think that's really important about these programs too is that it encourages our kids to go out together. So with my daughter and our family, we're always in the water and we're always around each other. We always know to stay right there by the beach when our kids are swimming or whatever, but the program gives our kids an opportunity to learn alongside their friends and make it a really cool experience for them, something that they're all can be scared together and sort of all be anxious, all learn the same things.
And this newfound water confidence can have a positive effect on dry land too.
Any confidence that they gain in the water, we see it as coaches, parents see it, the schools see it.
Their confidence in the water has definitely grown.
You know, we're at the beach on a daily basis, so I get a rundown every day when we get down there of, Mum, there's a rip there, so yeah, she's really aware of it, which is awesome.
I didn't know where rips were, but now I do more, because I used to think that calm water was just a nice swim place, but it was not.
And armed with this newfound confidence, the sky's the limit.
When I get older, I want to be sponsored and fly around like my cousins do.
Gavin Ogden, Local Focus.